Hello, my name is Pastor Doug Nicholas. This is October 19, 2019. This is my attempt to tell my life story as I have promised God that I would tell my story. God has came to me several times, and I promised Him I would tell my story to try to help people come to Him with more faith, and some with no faith, have a little faith, but if we could gain anything to help other people. And that's why I'm telling it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I've done some really crazy stuff, like jump motorcycles over stuff that shouldn't have been jumped. But most likely I paid for it with a broken bone. I broke 98 bones in my life, and probably still counting. But I'm going to have to stop a few times. I live with 24/7 pain. I mean, I've worked hard to get to this point today. And so I decided I just can't get it told in one sitting. So I'm going to do it in segments, stop and goes. But I'll get it done. And anybody that is interested, I think they'll come away with something from this, and that's all I want. I've had a lot of accidents to cause my pain that I caused, but then I've had some accidents that weren't my fault, and then I've had attempts on my life that weren't my fault. And no matter how many times I forgive people, it's funny. The ones that want the most from me hurt me over and over. But all you can do is forgive and love them. You know, you have to just pray from the outside, I guess. I tried from the inside. But everything I'm telling, I can prove it with x-rays, MRI results, doctor statements, court results. Everything can be proven. Pictures, I got tons of pictures. Some pictures I don't think the law want me to show. But because in the end I've lost about everything but what counts. My life and my love for God. And I'm still trying to do good. And I think, you know, that's some of the reason I've been pushed to tell this story. And trust me, I've been pushed. I mean, I've loved God on the inside and always talked about it, but I never preached it. And you know, I help people, but I've been told in the last month that making motors go fast was not what I was put on this earth to do. That it was to do this. But I guess I had to be taught first. Or the angels tell me I'm stubborn. And you don't have to believe the angels told me, God told me. Listen to my story. You can make your own mind up and you're going to come away with something. If you don't believe in God, have no faith, I can tell you a lot of funny stories. They're not bad, they're not evil, but I guess I was an adrenaline junkie and probably still am, but that's kind of why it took me so long to get the courage to tell this story. And I better get to it. I only have so long. I'll tell you why. In 2015, I was struggling. Every time something mentioned my mom, because I still love my mom, even though she hurt me many times and tried to kill me. I had tears, and it happened a couple nights in a row. I would take my dog, Hugh, and get in the Jeep, and we would just go drive around and park out on some hilltop and look at the stars and tears. And the first night, God told me that I was doing the wrong thing, and I was supposed to tell my life story of my faith for Him, no matter what happened to me. That's so hard for me to swallow. I went home feeling better, but I'm thinking, I'm getting some books out, I'm reading, I'm going, am I two people in one? Believe me, I went to church, I prayed, I grew up a Catholic, I bought my first Bible myself. But this is out there for me. And then the next night, because I'm up and down all night long, if I can sit here and close my eyes for an hour, I'll get up and then get rid of the pain and do it another hour. But one time I was, just like the night before, something mentioned money or something, and same thing happened. In the Jeep with the dog, tears. But this time, it wasn't like the night before. This time it was louder, and the words weren't as iffy, and I knew it was God talking to me, because where'd it come from? I've never read this. I've never thought this. I thought about telling my story, but it wasn't for that reason. It was for helping the law get gooder. But I promised God that night that I would tell my story, and I would tell it no matter how much it's going to hurt me, or maybe it won't hurt me. I don't know. It could hurt me. As far as hurting me with the non-believers, that's not the hurt I'm worried about. I can handle that. It's the hurt from the evil that has came at me before. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't know how many more times they can shoot me, knock me down, and I can overcome it. God's given me a lot of miracles, and I'm going to tell you about them. And you decide. I'm just a man. I'm no better than anybody here. But you decide. I'm going to take a break now, and I'm going to be right back. This was the first segment